Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine!
So Gaza is at the end of the proverbial rope. I wish the people well now who are trying to break the embargo through Egypt. Egypt is giving them problems because, as I might have said earlier, Egypt is being bribed by our monies to Egypt. And therefore, it's still uncertain as to whether the Gaza humanitarian assistance mission, populated by people such as Member of Parliament George Galloway from Britain. He's in Viva Palestine, which is coming the other direction in order to provide humanitarian supplies. And then people like Ann Wright, who lives in Hawaii, from entering into Gaza via the Gaza Freedom March, which is to begin on December 31st. We don't know how that's going to play out, but Egypt is being very intransigent, saying that we will not permit these people to take humanitarian supplies into Gaza. That is criminal.
For the viewers out there, do they understand the fact that Egypt and these Arab countries, right, you would think they would be helping Palestine? And the reason they're not helping Palestine is because they've been paid off?
That's certainly very true. They've been bribed, they've been bullied, they know which side of the bread, the butter lies on. It's just tragic that almost every Arab country, with the exception of Syria, which has my great admiration, and to some extent Libya, every Arab country, Qatar does provide some humanitarian materials and assistance, but most of them are just quislings to the empire. And by empire, I mean the U.S.-Israel empire.
Now, because Egypt, it's obvious, they've been paid off because they won't allow the march. Well, at least for now, we know that they will not allow the march now. But Iraq was helping the Palestinians. Is that correct?
Oh, Iraq under Saddam Hussein was a great humanitarian assistance to the Palestinians. Saddam Hussein was not afraid to denounce Zionism and denounce the illegal occupation of Palestine.
In your opinion, could that have been some influence in our attack of Iraq?
I think no question about it. People like to say that the war on Iraq was for oil. It was not. The prime factor behind the scenes, as any knowledgeable researcher would acknowledge, was Israel's desire to control the entire Middle East. And of course, AIPAC was the agent of Israel in goading us into war with Iraq. We can see now the seeds, the fruits to the Zionism ideology, the psychosis of Zionism, because I have read reliable reports that the Israeli Mossad and radical religious elements are now infiltrating northern Iraq, and they have plans to energize a much larger movement, not just Greater Israel, meaning all of Palestine, Iraq, excuse me. And then after Iraq comes under control, then what can we speculate? What will be the pressure on Syria? And then Lebanon, which Israel attacked and almost just totally devastated in 2006, just inhumanely.
So this is for the record, in case we see this video a year from now or 2 years and see the progression and see if Zionism is taking its root, as you're saying, that the condition could be devastating.
Oh, I think we're facing a catastrophe. I think, again, I haven't mentioned the Christian Zionists, that bizarre ideology which is married in an unholy quasi-religious alliance with Zionist Israel. Really, those people are psychotic, and they want the end times to come. But they don't want the end times to come at Jesus Christ's time or God's time. They want to push the end times, and they want to be raptured up to heaven. I have nothing but scorn and anger for those people.
And another question.
Jesse, excuse me, and the reason I say that is because the Christians, especially of Gaza and the West Bank and East Jerusalem, it's the Christians who are suffering along with their Muslim brothers. But these Christian Zionists have no feeling for their Christian brothers and sisters in the occupied territories.
Now, would you say that it was an incredible feat for Israel to accomplish having nuclear weapons? And how did they get all that in just a short period of time of their existence?
Well, Israel was first assisted up until 1967 by France in attaining the beginnings of a nuclear program. And then after the 1967 Six-Day War, we became Israel's bankroller. And even though even a couple of years before that, John F. Kennedy attempted to bring Israel to heel in what he saw as their burgeoning nuclear ambitions. Israel ignored him. And how do we know? I'm no conspiracist, but John F. Kennedy was killed shortly after he made that statement. And therefore, Israel, through theft, through
well, they had Pollard, who stole our secrets.
Sure, of course. Now, that was in the 1980s. But sure, Israel's been a tremendous spy drain on our country. The espionage is just out of this world. And no other country would be allowed to spy on us without criticism. Every time we hear of one Chinese, it's as if World War III is about to begin. Sure, Chinese does some espionage, industrial espionage against us, but it's on nowhere near the scale of Israel in military, pharmaceutical, and other areas.
Would you say that their secret agency, the Mossad, is actually in control in some sense of the CIA?
I don't know that for sure, but certainly somewhere there's a mole. Somewhere there is control. I don't doubt that from my emotional side one bit.
And the amount of strength that they have in our legislature, Congress, what would make us think that Mossad didn't have the same amount of power?
Sure. Sure. I think that's perfectly logical. That fits the pattern. That fits the enterprise. And it's all psychotic. I regret to say that the Jewish people have been muscled into this deviant, evil, psychotic enterprise.
Mr. Stiver, anything else you want to convey out to the community?
I just want to convey, as I always do, my sincere regret to the children, women, and men of Palestine, especially right now Gaza, that I am somehow complicit in this program of dispossession and slow genocide.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.